Greetings, adventurers. I am Trevor, and this is the Rogue Optimist, and we are now heading into Disney Springs. This is going to be the first time I'm actually recording a visit here. So, gonna go inside and do a couple of things. I've got my glorious refillable mug, well, bottle. I'll tell you guys about that in a moment. And finally gonna get the, well, I say finally as though it's like not happened in a while, but gonna get this month's Gideon's cookie. It's white chocolate, I'm not a huge fan of, but I think it's caramel and maybe macadamia, which I dig both of those. So I hear it's really good. Again, I'm not the hugest fan of white chocolate, but I'm also, well, one thing I learned is, if anything, always give in to peer pressure. Every time. It'll never let you down. So we're gonna go do that. Maybe a couple other things, kind of walk around. Some stuff's closed, some stuff's open, some stuff's moving, something old, something new. So we're just gonna have an adventure. Care to join? And I'll join our program, already in progress. So it has actually gotten to be a pretty overcast day today. It wasn't this morning. Well, actually, no, I take it back. It was this morning. We've had some sun just intermittently, and it's, constantly threatening to rain, though it hasn't actually rained just yet. A little bit of spittle, not much. So hopefully it holds out, or I'm going to have to take shelter at some point, and I don't want that to have to be in the parking garage. So first things first on the docket is running over to Gideon's and getting in the walk-up wait list, because that could be a few hours of an affair to actually get in there. But all I want is a cookie, just a cookie. Okay, so I got myself in the queue, the virtual queue for Gideon's. It's a 2.5 hour wait right now, estimated, before I'm gonna get text to come back to then stand in this line, which will probably be about a 20 to 30 minute line in and of itself. So that's fine, I'm okay with that, I don't mind. So now that that's done, I'm gonna swing on over to, actually, you know what? First things first, I was gonna swing over to Homecoming, but I actually wanna see if Raglan is doing their weekend happy hour, because I hear good things about their happy hour. I just haven't been able to go yet, and I don't know if it's only weekday or if they do it on weekends too. All right, well, that answers that question. Monday to Friday, 11 to 5. I will keep that in mind. Now, the question is, when they say domestic premium beer, since it's an Irish pub, they consider Guinness to be domestic. We'll find out this week. Okay, so now going to go over to Homecoming. So here's the story real quick while I'm walking over there. There's this. All right. So Homecoming and Splitsville, the bar at least at Splitsville, are owned by the same company. So they have this refillable water bottle that, and I'll get the prices correct when I get over there, but it's like $22 at one, $22 at the other for the bottle and the first drink. And then it's like $15 refills of their cocktails. Well, cocktails at Homecoming, like their moonshine margarita and such. It's like 6 of them you can pick from. So it's like $15 a refill forever and for all perpetuity into the universe, all, the universe unto unknown or whatever. And then same thing over at Splitsville with their 6 blended drinks. So I'm gonna get something at Splitsville, but I wanna get the prices right here while I'm passing by. All right, so it looks like it's actually just 4 margaritas that they have, but they're also not even chilled. They're just sitting there stagnant. So from one professional to another, I highly recommend going to the inside bar for these drinks if you get them here, because hold on, I'm messing with the lens here. Sorry about that. So apparently I need a new gimbal. Apparently I have broken the zoom toggle on here. But anyways, there's a bar just inside here that they have those cocktails. It's 4 or 6, I can't remember exactly. I feel like it was 6 that are actually chilled, better chilled in there. So they just put them on ice, and it's again $15 for that refill. Let me see. Oh yeah, I was supposed to check the dang sign, see what it was. It's for the refills. Here we go. So the bottle is 22 ounce. It's $23 here for the first one with the first drink, and the refills are $15. And those are so it is 6. So those are the 6 you can refill on. Now let's go over to Splitsville, because that's where I'm going to get the actual drink I'm wanting. Okay, let's recap that real quick, because I feel like I might have made that really confusing while I was low-key panicking about the toggle switch, the zoom toggle switch on my gimbal, which is not broken, apparently. It is working, so I know you're worried. Crisis averted. I'd like to thank you for your understanding at this time. But anyway, so what I was saying about the bottle is that at Homecoming, $23 for the bottle, and the first cocktail, $15 refills. 6 different cocktails you can get, you can refill on. And now we're gonna go over to Splitsville bar to see their 6 cocktails and their $15 refills for it. Hey, this is new. One sec. So first, a little bit of news. Apparently, Disney World is getting rid of all their food trucks across property, which are these, which is 2. I think there's a third one on the other side of there. I don't know where else they have the food trucks, but apparently those are going away. But what I was saying is this is at least new to me. This pathway here, I didn't know this existed. Fantastic. It looks like just golf carts go here based on the tire markings. But also, we've got, coming soon, Summer House. So there is another location that's in Chicago, where I'm from. Okay, I know on these videos I keep on saying, you know, because I'm from LA. All right, I was in Chicago. I'm born and raised Chicago, first, 21 years of my life, and then was in Los Angeles for 12. So now I'm in Orlando. So I'm from both. I don't have to pick. Deal with it. So Summer House, the first location, I think the only location so far, is in Chicago, and I guess it's really good. So we got one of these going here. Before this was actually, they closed down, what was it, bongos or something, and put in, they cleared the land, and it was going to be a Beatrix something or other, which is another bougie, artisanal, high-end, whatever. And then that deal fell through in the pandemic, so it was just an empty lot, and now Summer House is coming in. So that's, something that's coming. Oh, I cannot go this way. Okay, turning around. So it seems that despite the NBA experience just, being unsuccessful as a entertainment installation here in Disney Springs, the artistic murals, we'll call them, I guess, still exist just above the CityWorks brewery. All right, beverage acquired. And I got him to swap out the little koozie on the side. So I had the bottle with the koozie that had, for Splitsville, but it had like pineapples on it. And I loaned my bottle to a friend, and because they had a bottle, but they needed a second one because they were coming here with somebody. And I loaned them my bottle. When they gave me my bottle back, they put the other koozie on there, the homecoming one, which I went, that's not what was on there. So I just asked them at Splitsville if they wouldn't mind swapping it out, and they're like, we can't swap it, but I'll give you the brown one, this one. And I went, all right, deal. So I got that, and now I got a pina colada, which they changed the recipe like 6 months ago or so to add, oh, hello, I'm not trying to advertise Everglaze over here, they started to switch up the recipe to put like actual coconut, shredded coconut in there, so you've got a little. So if you like the taste of coconut but not the consistency, then you're still not going to like this, because now you get both the taste and the consistency. But for all the pina coladas, they by default put a rum floater on top of, I want to say it was Plantation, so it's a good rum. Yeah, for $15 in tax and tip on that, so it's not bad. Just under $19. It's great. Now I've got a nice little bottle to walk around Disney Springs and sip on for an hour or something like that, and just kind of kill some time until my number gets called up at Gideon's. The roundabout over here used to be the Sosa Family Cigar Shop, and that was a store that had been here at Springs before this was Springs, when it was still downtown Disney, when it was still, just the old Pleasure, or the old West Side and the previous Pleasure Island area. But they closed down a few months ago. I guess they just weren't getting enough business. I mean, I feel like I always saw people in there. I don't know if they were just window shopping, but I feel like there was always at least a handful of people that were sitting in there smoking cigars, because it was also a lounge. So it's something I always meant to do, never got to do. I'm a periodic cigar smoker. I used to smoke cigars pretty regularly, and then I kind of burnt myself out, no pun intended, on doing that. So now it's a very periodic thing, probably once every 6 months. But yeah, so I just never got around to doing it. So something I missed. So now, just before coming over here today, I had a friend I got lunch with rave to me about the, on that side, the mead tasting that they do here. He said it was a whole lot of fun. I have probably had enough sugar, or will have enough sugar for the day, that I don't need to add this to the list, but I'll do it another time for sure. But I mean, 6 meads for $16 for tastings doesn't seem like a bad deal. I'm not the biggest fan of mead, but I mean, something like that, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a try. Here's a fun little anecdote. So this fountain, this is, wow. Threw in his 2 cents. So this little fountain over here, I played in when I was like, what was that? So it was 99, so that was 11. So when my family was here for the money and when I was 11, I went in there and got absolutely drenched, and I just ran around for like half an hour. Thankfully, we were staying like right over at what was the Disney Institute, so we would just walked soaking wet back over to the hotel or to our townhouse and, you know, threw everything in the tub. But I walked over to this area because of this building here. So this used to be the Void, which is a third-party effort by, what was the name of the company? I feel so bad because they just spoke at a conference I was just at. They just won an award for a skydive, or not skydiving, the sky suit simulated experience. But anyway, oh, so sorry. After you. Don't vlog and walk, folks. Almost ran into somebody. Anyway. Hey, look. It's Bill. Hey, Bill. No fear. No fear. So like this space is now empty. It's over by the Bippity Boppity Boutique, next to it over there. But it's like, this is empty, and then there's another storefront on the other side of Earl Sandwich that used to be the Wolfgang Puck quick service. That moved years ago, way over there, to a location in the Landing, next to the Coca-Cola store, like the big one, and right across from Chicken Guy. But the storefront over there is still sitting vacant. And then the news hit this week that Lululemon is apparently moving their location in Springs to a quote-unquote more prominent location in Springs. So that's moving. But businesses are regularly coming and going from in here. And then just a couple of instances where they need to move to a, you know, bigger space, more prominent space, that sort of thing. But this place is constantly evolving. I'm stopping over at the Basin store because there's something that I learned about a month ago that I didn't know you can do here. That's kind of a one-of-a-kind thing. So you can go ahead and grab one of their soaps here and just wash your hands. Well, my hands feel and smell amazing. It's like you get to wash your hands and exfoliate at the same time. I mean, I didn't buy anything, but it was definitely a whole lot of fun. There was a mom who was washing her hands right by me, and her daughter basically kept on like ping-ponging around the store and like coming back with like, I found this, can I have this? No. And then she'd go away. Then she'd come back. Can I have this? No, you don't need anything. She'd go away, come back. But can I have this? Mom's like, you're not getting anything. Too funny. So the whole shtick with Disney Springs, whether it's Marketplace, Landing, West Side, and there's another name for the area that's just behind the Landing, between the Landing and parking garages. But the whole area is not zoned as a mall. It's not an outdoor mall. It's very much meant to be experiences. So the thing that every tenant needs to offer in order to have a space here is they need to offer something at their location that you can't do anywhere else. So no other Basin store is going to do this hand washing thing. There's the Art of Shaving store where I think you actually can go in and get like a proper hot shave, or there's something that they offer about it that like it's only specific to here. So everything is all supposed to be about these experiences, so it's not just shopping and dining specifically. So that's, I don't know, it's how they get around the zoning thing, but also how it separates being here, shopping here at Springs versus, you know, a mall, an outdoor mall, an outlet mall, any sort of thing like that. And there you go. There's another empty storefront. This may or may not be the same store. I don't know. Yeah, that may be connected through. So here's that Wolfgang puck that I was talking about, right across from the chicken guy, which, hot take, not that good. Not that good. It's cheaper, yeah, until you start, adding in all the other stuff, and then you start getting nickeled and dimed for stuff, and then suddenly you're paying as much there for your entire meal as you would have if you had just gone to like Deluxe Burger, and that food is so much better. So, my opinion, you're hungry, just go to Deluxe Burger. Don't go to Chicken Guy. It's not worth it. It's mediocre. All right, Pina Colada has been finished. Jungle Cruise water bottle has been acquired. Keeping hydrated. Heading back into Springs. Still waiting my time. Yes, waiting my time for when I'm going to get my Gideon's cookie. It's going to be fantastic. So I keep on saying that the Coca-Cola store here, let their liquor license lapse and that they're no longer doing the cocktails up on the rooftop bar. I might be wrong. Maybe that might have changed, but I've never actually checked, so I'm gonna go do a little investigation. Alright, so yeah, can confirm the alcoholic beverages are 100% gone from up here. That is a little sad. No Beverly's Revenge. Gone. So I'm just going to kind of meander the landing area, because for the most part, you can kind of like do a loop from one end of Disney Springs to the other. It's almost pretty much like it is a loop, except for this area, the landing, where there's kind of like couple of pathways kind of interweave, intersect, interfere. Okay, so I'm being a little cagey. There's a whole backstory that I learned about that is not guest facing, but it is the story that was used to actually influence the design and build of Disney Springs when Pleasure Island was taken away and all of this new story was put into play. It all begins with this tree, which, you can't see it too well, but there's lanterns hanging here. Let's get closer so you can see them. But it all begins with this structure, and this structure, and this tree, and these lanterns. So I'm intentionally holding off because I want to do a separate video where I kind of walk around Springs and start talking about this, basically divulge the story that I learned that is the backstory for this entire area and why it exists. So I'm holding off on that, or I don't know why the kid just flapped his arms like a bird. Okay. You put a camera in front of people and they just start acting a fool. Anyway, so there's a whole story. I'm gonna get into that another time. Another time, another place. But we're still just gonna meander for now. New story to come. Yep, here you go. Another one bites the dust. So I've never noticed this up here, the Disney Vacation Club sign in the mural. So I'm gonna guess that when you talk to someone in the kiosks, they'll take you up that elevator to a Disney Vacation Club office on the second level and try to get you to sign on that dotted line for DVC, which I learned that the Marriott timeshare program bought Disney Vacation Club. So apparently if you become a DVC member, you have access to all of Marriott's, I said that weird, fastest on the wrong syllable. You have access to all of Marriott's timeshare program, places, perks, all that fun stuff. Still don't like it. Still not a fan. I don't know if any of you watch John Oliver, but he did a breakdown a couple months ago of timeshare programs. And basically he's like, if you are considering one, don't do it. If you're in one, get out. If anybody approaches you about one, run the other direction. Just gonna take some beauty shots here. Ooh, Fun fact, this is technically a pool. Based on the construction and the water filtration and the type of water that's in it, it's a pool. Don't go swimming. Another instance of something just under renovation. So this is Sunglass Hut. They're renovating to make, they're staying in the location, but they're renovating to make the location look different. So they've got a truck down there at the end by the bridge. In the meantime, just to sell out of the truck, but they're renovating their stuff right now. And it's right across from where Summer House is going. All right, so I'm swinging back over to House of Blues because their walk-up bar, I feel like I heard that their cocktails are pretty good. When I walk by, the price points seem to be consistently $15 across the board. So I'm just gonna ask whoever's behind the bar, like, just shoot straight with me, and are these actually worth it, and are these actually good? Because I've never tried them before, so maybe they got something that's unknown to me, undiscovered, and is actually worthwhile. So we'll give it a swing. Every cocktail is $15 across the board. Comes in a 16-ounce cup, of course, Live Nation. Got to promo themselves. But with these two guys, oh my gosh. So what the person behind the counter here was saying was that the Crossroads Cadillac Margarita and the Hurricane are the two strongest cocktails. I, of course, got the Cadillac Margarita because I'm a masochist. She did say about the, where'd it go? The Sangria, that the Sangria is really good. She really enjoys that one because it's actually made, as she says, quote, how a Sangria should be made. I don't know what that means, but if she says it's proper, and she, swears by that, then, I trust that vote of confidence. So I'd say the next time I come in, I'm probably going to give that Sangria a shot. Because if the Hurricane's just a standard Hurricane, great. It's funny, she asked me, she goes, have you had a Hurricane before? And I go, have you been to college? So, anyway. First sip of this Cadillac Margarita is not bad. I might need to stay away from the salt on the rim. That might be changing the flavor profile for me, but I'll keep giving it a sip and see what happens. Also, I just got the text from Gideon's. So we're going to head on over there, drink this cocktail on the way, finish it by the time I get inside, and get myself a cookie. So one night a couple weeks ago, I came by to see a movie, and I stopped by here over at Salt and Straw, which I'm used to Salt and Straw because they started I think they started in Portland, and then they opened locations in LA. Or it's made in LA. You know what? Time is irrelevant. But this month they're doing their Eat Your Flowers menu, and out of this one, I had the rhubarb crumble. I tasted the pistachio, and it was good, but then I went with the jasmine milk tea and a couple others that I forget what they were, but they were like limited flavors that were inside. So I always do, because as I've said, I am a person who wants to try as many things as possible in closed loops. So you can do split scoops for like 50 cents extra. Get 2 flavors instead of 1, but then I always get a double scoop cup. So I tried 4 flavors in 1, because swing for the fences. So that was like $12, and then I downed all of it and went to go see Guardians 3. So here's the reality of the situation for me. This is the first week where it's been like hot and humid in Orlando. And I'm not loving it. Also, I'm between gigs right now, so I'm not really looking to go out and drop $40 on a haircut. And for me, my hair, I know it's receding, but for the hair I do have, as soon as there's any amount of length to it, it gets hot, just because it's thick. And I can't do that. I can't do that in Orlando. So I'm going to, I did this during the pandemic, but I'm going to give a shot at cutting my own hair again, and we'll see how that goes. If it goes badly, I'm just going to buzz it right off, which I've done before. I used to buzz my hair all the time when I was playing Pop Warner football back in grade school, and then one night, I want to say back 8 years ago, when I was, again, between gigs, I ended up, it was a really hot night in my apartment in the Valley in Los Angeles, and I went, you know what, I gotta get rid of this. So I Googled buzz cut, receding hairline, beard, and got photos of Tom Hardy at a premiere for one of his films with a buzz cut and a beard, showing a receding hairline, and I went, you know what, I can do it. So I did it as a test, and it works. Not my favorite, but it works. So I'm gonna give a swing at trying to cut my own hair, and if it goes badly, which it's gone well before during the pandemic. Again, I did it a few times, cut my own hair a few times. It went well, or okay, arguably okay. But for some reason it goes bad. It's gonna get buzzed off. So my appearance may be changing post haste. All right, I feel like I'm making this count. I got the white chocolate caramel macadamia nut cookie. That's for May, which apparently is usually the Pride cookie, but got that because obviously it's May and I hear it's good. And then the carrot cake slice. Now the cakes here typically are a lot, like a lot. Like, you can maybe get through that in like 2 sittings. I've done it before where I've done it all in 1 sitting, and it has been a gross mistake. So I'm going to try to hold on to that. And then I asked the guy inside about the other couple of cakes. So there's a red velvet cake, but it looks like it uses a cookies and cream, buttercream, with the red velvet cake. And that one I feel like I'm pretty positive I've had before. But then they also had a marshmallow chocolate something or other that I know I haven't had before, but the person I spoke with said that they have that year round. I just don't remember I don't think I've run into it before, or I just kind of passed it over because I went for a seasonal one while being told that one was there year round. So I'll get to it at some point. And then there was a salted caramel cold brew that they said was a limited edition one, but I feel like I've had that one before, so I asked about that one as well. And it turns out that one also is offered various times of the year. I guess it was offered in August of last year, and I was here in August of last year, so I'm pretty positive I've had that. Because it's that, the pumpkin chai, I know I've had, the peanut butter, I know I've had, the cookies and cream, I know I've had, and then the classic, I do not think I've had, but also, what's the point? And then there was even like that red hot, for Valentine's, there was that spicy cold brew one. So I've had several others. So I feel like I've covered the spread. I'm basically justifying my sugar addiction right now. All right, have now unwrapped it. That is the half-pound cookie. Let's give this sucker a taste. The setup here is, oh wow, that's actually a really soft cookie. They did not give me napkins. Yeah, it's a beautiful sky you get to see though. All right, this is incredibly soft. This is the softest cookie I've had from Gideon's. It's actually really good. The bottom of the cookie is has got most of the caramel, it seems, and that's gotten cooked so much it's kind of harder. And I like that. So the caramel's on the bottom, the white chocolate is more towards the top. Actually works really well. I feel like it's a pretty standard cookie batter that's being used to hold it all together. But it's good. This actually is really good. I had no hopes for this. I had a very low bar. But I gotta say, this is actually a good cookie. Oh. It's gonna be hard to stop. I mean, alright, look at this. Like, that is a thick cookie. There's white chocolate chips actually all throughout that. And the white chocolate chips actually look like they're toasted a little bit. Flambéed, as it were. Rain's coming in. Hey, look at that fantastic little tuft that's just kind of hanging at the top there. It's like a little antenna. Just trying to get reception. So yeah, the rain's coming in. So I am gonna go put the slice of cake from Gideon's, the carrot cake, in the car, so this doesn't get wet, and also so it just doesn't get overheated. When I get home, I'm gonna toss that sucker in the freezer, because that'll last for like a week. So I'll just pull it out on another run day, and that'll be my post-run. Instead of having half a cup of cooked brown rice, like I should, I'll end up having half a slice of Gideon's carrot cake. Same. Totally same. And then I think I'm gonna swing on over to, back on over to Raglan to Hole in the Wall Bar and grab this one beer that I guess is brewed by, what was the brewery he said? It's some brewery out of Miami, but apparently it's brewed specifically for Raglan, and that's it. And that's the only one I have interest in, to be honest. And he pointed out the 4 domestic beers that are on happy hour during the weekend. I have no interest in any of them because it's Coors, Bud Light, just water. So, since apparently hole in the wall happy hour is not going to be a thing for me during the week, I might as well get the one beer I'm interested in now and be done with it. So that's the next step. Alrighty, this is now my 3rd time back to the car. More steps than I was wanting to do, but I have burned, hold on a second. Come on, watch, stop doing that. I burned 1,600 active calories today. I went for a 6-mile run this morning. I had the best run time that I've had in quite some time. So I'm really proud of that. So I went to B-Dubs with a friend for lunch, had a fantastic burger, which, fun fact, I didn't know this until being there today. Sonic Burgers, the chain, bought B-Dubs. So now B-Dubs is offering smash burgers. And they got a deal going on right now where they're like, hey, you get one of these smash burgers and you get, for $1 more, you can get 6 boneless wings. And I was like, yes, please. So I got that with tots because I'm a sucker for tots. That burger, one of the best burgers I've had in a long time. Like 2 slices of melted American cheese. So gooey. It was a brisket. It was not just a smash burger, but it had brisket, sliced brisket on it. Or chopped brisket. I was in heaven. So I had that with a couple of Goose Island pints that apparently a beer that, or one of the brews that Goose Island only does for B-Dubs. So I had 2 of those. I had the brisket, the chopped brisket burger, smash burger, and 6 boneless wings. And that was so worth it. So I definitely earned it. So with over 900 calories from running this morning, and now like 500-600 calories from walking around Disney Springs. Yes, I had a cookie, a giant cookie. Yes, I had a pina colada. Yes, I had a cocktail. Yes, I'm about to have a beer, but I earned it. So, for those of you who don't know, and you probably don't know, there's a word in Celtic? Gaelic? Yes? Both? They're different? Are they different? I don't know. I'm Irish and I don't even know. But there's a word that I learned when I was over in Ireland 6 years ago. Crack. It's not like what we as Americans know as the word crack. It's a C-R-A-I-C. And there's really no direct translation in the English language for it, but it's this general idea of being, like having a good time where you are. Good camaraderie, good place, good vibes, that whole thing. So in Ireland, a lot of, the ways you would hear it used is, someone would say like, oh, you were down over at, so-and-so pub last night. Oh, how'd you get on? Oh, yeah, had a good time there. Oh, yeah, good crack there? Great crack there. Yeah, I had a good crack. Good time, good crack. So there's my little anecdote. But now, hole in the wall bar, pub, for the local beer they have. Let's go! Alrighty, so the sun is now setting. Thankfully, the rain never came. But been hanging out here for about an hour or so. Met a couple of lovely folks who are also from Chicago, like me, from Southwest Chicago, like Tinley Park area. And we got to just talking about Chicago and Chicago pizza, naturally, as one does, and Chicago dogs, and what, just good crack, having a good crack. So I was going through these handles and realizing that like the Kilkenny, the Smittix, the Magners, the Harp, and Guinness I've obviously had while I was over in the UK. There's a few Crooked Can ones, which there's a mixer coming up next month for the Themed Entertainment Association that is at Crooked Can, so I'll be having those there. I don't care about ciders. That knocks out that shovel handle and the cider for Magners that you can see right in front of you. And I know I've had the unfiltered Florida one while on the road on tour. But the Big Nose out of Swamphead, I don't think that I've had. And it's an IPA, and I enjoy IPAs. I never used to like IPAs, and then I got into them over the pandemic, mainly because of one of the comics that was on the road with us. He's a big IPA guy, so I got into them. So I was doing those. But then also for these over here, so I learned that during the their, like I said earlier, their happy hours, just like the Yingling, the Sam, the Hazy thing from Sierra Nevada, which is a good one, but you know, I don't know if I'm gonna come here just for happy hour for it. And then the Miller Lite are all their happy hour ones. And then this one, the Fiddler's Amber Ale, is the one that's brewed from that Miami local brewery that is just for here. So I had that one, actually a 32 ounce of that the folks I was talking to were nice enough to actually get for me because I gave them this wasn't the intention, but I told them about me, you know, having a job end this week and looking for the next job, and they were like, "We got your beer." And I said, "Okay." So they were very kind about that. And then this one, Bloomsdale Pale Ale. Not a huge into pale ales. I haven't heard of this brewery. The handle, I think, if you look closely, says Orange Blossom. It just didn't appeal to me, so I haven't had that one. I don't think I'm going to go for that one. But aside from that, I think I've kind of covered the spread here, so I don't know if I'm actually going to make it out for another one of these happy hours for Hole in the Wall. I was asking, James is the bartender, I was asking him about their fish and chips versus the Rose and Crown fish and chips, or at least the quick service stand next to Rose and Crown. Asking him about the quality of their fish and chips versus what Raglan Road has, and he was saying that Raglan Roads is good. If you're in the inside, like they've got a lot of other things they're taking care of, I'm sure, like shepherd's pie and a number of other things. But he was saying that the Cooks of Dublin, which is the quick service just next to Raglan Road, part of the same business, he goes, they probably do like 100 of those a day. And I go, I'm pretty positive they're probably doing more than just 100 fish and chips a day. But he was saying that like he has that there, the fish and chips, at least once a week, and they're great. And he actually likes those from Cooks of Dublin more than when they're cooking them in Raglan Road, and definitely more than the one you get from Rose and Crown. And he was saying even at Rose and Crown, like if they're not busy, they'll be really good. And then if they're really busy, then maybe they're just churning them out and it's maybe not as good. So I've definitely had fish and chips from that Rose and Crown quick serve area next to Rose and Crown at least twice, and that's good. And I know that I've had the fish and chips from Cooks of Dublin at least once. And honestly, I don't know if I noticed a difference, but it was still, both are great. Both are great. So I just really care about, have you got vinegar? Then I'm good. So I'm not picky. I'm not picky about it, it turns out. So I'll just wait for that. It is really nice to be able to catch the nighttime atmosphere of Disney Springs. Said it before, gonna keep saying it. Disney property, Disney parks, Disney Springs. After sunset, the lighting makes this place really come alive. And you really just get to really enjoy the way that this personality that comes out. Also, this is also a little dull. Hold on. There should be lighting in here in the water, and there is not. Huh. All right, here we go. This is what I was talking about. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep doing. Hold on. So this is like the actual springs of Disney Springs. So I'm gonna go over to that next bridge and show you a little more of that water, because this is, so here you go. Just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful nighttime lighting effect. Continuing what I said earlier about how this is technically a pool. So the depth of here intermittently varies between like 3 and 9 feet, I've heard. And it kind of like varies all over the place. So if you're someone who goes, hey, I got a bright idea, I'm gonna jump in there, don't. Because there's a good chance that you're gonna hit one of the 3-foot areas and not one of the 9-foot areas, and you're gonna break a bunch of stuff, and no one is going to feel sorry for you. But we're all gonna laugh. Time, I've got all the time I need. I've got a time machine. All right, adventurers, it's been a day. We're gonna call it a day. We're gonna call it a night. So I got a few more things planned for this week. This week will be the first true test, because now I'm going to have to record one day, release the next. So I'm gonna have to get to a little more model, because I've worked through my backlog. I cannot slag. I have to do this. So I've got some ideas of things I want to hit up this week to show you guys. Can hit the parks, Disney parks. This is all still predominantly going to be Disney content. I do want to expand to doing other things soon, very soon, like Gatorland and going to Universal and some other Central Florida local attractions. But I just got my my Pixie annual pass a few weeks ago, so I need to make it worthwhile. So I'm just gonna kind of burn through some things. There was some new stuff to show. There's some cool stuff to show. There's a lot of stuff that I feel like I've got some insight on that I feel like I haven't heard from other YouTubers, just people out there in social media just saying about the way that like certain features and aspects of Disney parks are designed, that I'm like, you know what, I got a little insight. I want to bring this out there, like really reveal some of the genius. Not how genius is actually giving a lot of credit. Just really show a lot of the thought, creative and intelligent thought that went into a lot of what we see in the theme parks. So I want to make a mission of that. I also want to hit up the hotels, because there's a lot there. Like, I find that the hotels are just as much fun as the theme parks. I find that just kind of traveling around property is just as much fun. I had a whole thing over this last winter of staying at every Universal hotel except the Hard Rock Hotel, and getting a feel for those. So like I'm gonna do revisits, and not staying, but revisits of those hotels and talking about their pros and cons, because I've got some photos and videos from when I stayed there that I'll reuse to talk about what those experiences were like. But all of that to say, if there's bonus footage, it's literally going to be me eating a slice of carrot cake, because I haven't eaten too much today, aside from what I had at B-Dubs. So I might be plowing through that carrot cake tonight. I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to do it. But anyways, until next time, which will be tomorrow, have yourselves a fantastic evening. Be good to yourselves. Enjoy yourselves. And until the next adventure, always remember, Q-line is redundant. All right, I broke down. Dinner tonight will be a full slice of carrot cake and a cup of black coffee.